month alone, 189 since operations began, well as coping with their loss. The families of those killed are often faced with a difficult dilemma. Should they continue to support the cause which their loved one died for, or call for the troops to pull out before another family has to suffer like them? Well, Katie Stallard has been speaking to two of those families, both with very different views on the cost of war in Afghanistan.
You could just see the type of man that he had become. It was lovely. I couldn't take my eyes off him. It was like, oh wow, Will, you know, you are lovely. And he'd grown, and I was just really proud, like, yeah, that's my brother.
Up in the air was where he was happiest, you know. So it was a childhood dream. He was in the time of his life, really, and until this happened. Yeah.
Sergeant Ben Knight and Private Will Cushley were killed within 24 hours of each other in Afghanistan in September 2006. Two young men fiercely proud of the uniform they wore, determined in the job they were doing. Their two families now united by grief, but divided on the future of that mission.
They've got to find a political solution for Afghanistan. But in the meantime, old men are saying that we should fight, and young men and women are dying.
I do think that they are genuinely doing very good work out there. They're achieving their goals. They're doing a great job, and I think that's the message that they need from us.
Sergeant Knight was 25. He was killed when his RAF Nimrod aircraft came down after a mid-air explosion.
When you hear these latest casualties, these latest deaths, how does that make you feel?
I want to show my respect. I can't be there, but I want to show my respect to those coming back. I want to watch it, but I can't watch it. And I sat here with my wife, and we were both in tears. It was, you know, it was, and when you think that it was 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, it's just so sad, really. And what for, you know?
Private Cushley was 21, a rifleman and turret gunner with the Royal Canadian Regiment. This photo was taken on the 2nd of September. The next morning he would set off on a patrol from which he'd never return.
Actually reassured me, told me that it was brilliant work that they were all doing out there, and that he was going to go and be part of that. He was going to try to make a difference.
Do you think he had thought about the possibility of not coming back?
Yeah, I thought about that. Although he was afraid of what would come out there, he was not afraid to die if it was for the greater good, for the, you know, a more important thing. I think he was mostly afraid that he would let other people down, that he would cower or whatever when the going got really tough. But when the going got really tough, he was strong and brave and did his job.
In the letter he'd written to be delivered in the event of his death, Private Cushley said, "I tried my best, I fought bravely and with honour." His sisters say to pull the troops out now would be to betray what he fought and ultimately died for. Sergeant Knight's father, on the other hand, says we owe it to those who have given and continue to give their lives to examine what it is exactly they're fighting for. Katie Stallard, Sky News, Somerset.